Welcome to Travel Insights number 16. The I is not here to be rejected. Since I arrived in Bali, I've been um, promoting or trying to promote my Enlightenment Intensive Retreat that's happening in the middle of March. And recently I reached out to a peer, another spiritual teacher who has a following of students around, and I asked if he could pass on my information about the retreat. Um, yeah, and when I got a response, his response was no. And his no was in other words, but in basically saying, no, I will not help you promote your retreat to my students. When I first received this, I felt hurt. And this was a strong sense of pain. And I can feel like it's a raw, pure pain of hurt. And as I looked into it more, it was the original wound that I've had ever since I was born. And it's the pain of separation. It's the pain of believing that I am separate from myself. It's the pain of believing that I can be annihilated. It's the pain of believing that I have no value. So what did I do about this? Well, what can a person do when they receive so-called rejection? Because I extend it. I've helped this person in the past, and there was a rejection. So now I'm inquiring who is being hurt. And what's more important is the pain. Like, what is this pain and who's feeling this pain? So I decided to sit with this pain, which I have. This is an old wound that has been popping up throughout my life, actually. It's the same wound, it's the same pain. And you can probably get what I'm talking about, because you experience it too. We all do as human beings. There's an original wound, an original pain that gets re-triggered and re-triggered by all kinds of things on the outside. Now, why is that happening? Well, at first, as an ego, I could try to, put my attention to the other person who triggered the pain. But you know what? I am dead. I am done with thinking it's outside of me. I have no energy left to pursue the trigger of my pain. My pain is mine. And by the way, the pain is the light that leads me back to the truth. So as I'm sitting in this pain, I'm inquiring who. And what's coming up is I'm questioning, well, there's pain, there's an experience of pain, so who's experiencing it? Is it a ghost? Is it an entity? Is it an identity? Yeah. Is it an identity? Well, yeah. It's an identity that's experiencing this pain. And not really, because that identity, the more I pursue and look into who is behind the pain, I'm not finding anyone. But yet the pain is there. How can that be? Who's holding the pain? So what's coming up now is it's the brain. The brain has a whole mechanism of receiving information from the senses. And somewhere in the brain-mind thing, the whole study in itself, there's this assumption that there is an I that's responsible for holding the identity and for experiencing pain and pleasure. It's not only pain, but there's pleasure too. So who's experiencing the pleasure in my life? Who's experiencing the pain and the hurt in my life? You know what? The more I look at this, the more that I really isn't substantial. And that's a relief. So when the pain comes, I have to kind of go into the pain, go through the pain, and inquire with awareness, where is this pain? I can talk about how deep it is, how excruciatingly painful it is, all of that. But the more I look into it, the more I realize that there's no one really holding the pain. It's really a figment of my imagination. It's a release to know this, but I will say, I may know this now. In another moment, I may get caught by the pain again. So the work I'm seeing is to just keep inquiring into the I. Who is being rejected by another? No one. And the more I realize that I am not an I who can be rejected, then the freer I am. So it's not just a one-time happening. We have to kind of go through this and through experience, life experience, to see this again and again and again, and apply this truth, this reality that there is no I that's experiencing the pain. Maybe the pain is there. Some brain mechanism is doing it, but I don't have to own it. That's freedom. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye for now.